the Rangers were reportedly in on Quinn Hughes, but to the extent of how legit
Who
it was,
who's
because
gonna give a package like that? That was a great
no
package.
one could come. The Rangers certainly couldn't come close to that.
Right.
Um, but logistically, even if they could, what is up, everyone? We are back with another episode of Up in the Blue Seats, your favorite Rangers podcast from the New York Post. It's Mollie Walker and former Ranger Brian Boyle, as always. And it has been a relatively eventful week in Rangers land, hasn't it, Brian? We've got a three-goal
Yeah.
comeback and an overtime win over Montreal, a special teams disaster against Anaheim, not to mention a couple former Blueshirts that were back in the building. What else? We've got a missed team meeting and, well, another shutout loss on home
Ugh,
ice. So before we dissect this most recent one, I'm just going to tee you up with some stats that we have here, Brian.
nice.
Let's see. We've got a league high 7 shutout losses, 6 at home, 3, count them, 3 losses to teams sitting in last place in the National Hockey League. Only 4 wins at home through 35 games. 0-5-1 in second games of back-to-backs. 30th in the NHL in goals per game at 2.51. And the power play is 2 for 22 since losing Adam Fox. How do you plead?
Huh, yeah. So it wasn't perfect before Adam Fox went down. In terms of offensive output, obviously, I don't have an answer for what's happening at home. I really don't. But if I'm a player on the team, I'm focusing on trying to get better each day and focusing on how I can perform in whatever environment I'm put in, whatever line I'm on, whatever combinations you have. And it's an uphill battle, and there's a little bit of a cloud over them right now. And then you go into a game, you're playing against a team that's not good, but they don't know that. They they just traded their captain. It was a somber, environment on the bus when they found
Yeah.
out, and they
A lot of
injected
injuries too.
a lot of injuries. They injected some youth. The kid Ogren looks like he's
Yeah.
like a good player. I mean, he's a young kid who's done well in the American League, and now you never know when it's going to click. And you do when you're a Rangers fan. It's going to click when you play the Rangers. And
Correct. First game, first goal.
yeah, like I mean, geez,
Like
man,
clockwork.
I gotta say, like, I don't know what to do. I think you have to run over the linesman there. I don't know how
Yeah, that
he
was a
doesn't get
weird
out of the
one.
way, and that's early in the game. But that's that's this year.
Yeah.
How do you
I also
blame
think
him for that?
Robertson, he's still a little green too. Like I feel like in that
Yeah, he's not gonna.
situation,
He's like, what?
it was very obvious he quite literally had no idea,
It's a
what to do
soft
in that
chip.
situation.
It's a
Yeah.
soft chip to speed. The linesman has to get out of the way. He probably feels terrible, but like, if that was going to happen once this year, it was going to happen against the Rangers at MSG. That's just what's happening. And whatever the reason is, hopefully they're just exercising all these things. They haven't unraveled. They had great A's. They
Yeah.
cannot finish right now. So we need
The
a
refs
whole,
the refs tried to make it up for them a little bit though with 3 straight power plays
I
at the
mean,
end
and they feel
and nothing.
awful. It's like you get
Yeah.
caught in the train tracks and you almost freeze up. So like, I feel terrible for that guy, but it's like,
Yeah. That was very unfortunate.
uh, they gotta, they gotta talk to the goalie coach. Like, or I don't know. They can't finish right now. And a lot of it's
Yeah.
luck, but a lot of it's just execution. And I mean, Demko makes a blocker save on Artemi in the third. That like he's looking at his glove and it hits him in the blocker. And then he was like,
Yeah.
he does his little shake with his blocker, like, oh, how did that hit me? And Demko, I think, when healthy, he should
Hmm.
be on the Olympic roster. He's unbelievable. But they made him look even better. I don't
They
know if
do
they're
that often.
is it shoot more? Because like the quality chances they had were quality, but like is it enough? Who knows? I don't know. So it's sorry, my little baby's here. Hi, Isla. I'll see you in a minute, honey.
We got a guest.
No,
She wants to get in on the conversation.
she's a stubborn little lass.
No, I mean I'm in complete agreement. It's a lot of shots directly in the middle of the chest, directly into the glove.
Yeah,
It's astounding how many times it happens.
it's I I am astounded as well. I don't know. I don't know what to do. It was
Look,
always the mantra growing up all the time. If you're getting the chances, it'll come. If you're getting chances, it'll come. Don't let it affect the rest of your game. Yeah, back-to-backs is a problem. You need good special teams to win back-to-backs because you're not your A game, your energy level, it's different. I don't care. Say whatever. These are high-level athletes. It's different, especially when you're playing against a team. It's not on a back-to-back. Um, yeah, what other stats were you throwing at me? They just don't score. And they
yeah,
score even less at home.
it's really back to the word astounding. But for me, it's starting to all the talk about, and I respect it. I really do because I do truly believe that Mike Sullivan, JT Miller believe in this process that they're trying to stay committed to and sticking with the process and just working through it until they can, put it all together and it all just starts to click. But the talk about the process is starting to ring a little hollow when the results just continuously aren't coming for them. And I I understand the frustration from I mean, the amount of times that people have walked into that building and haven't heard the goal song at least once
I know.
is pretty wild and concerning. And I mean, they're just I mean, that was the lead of my article today is home ice advantage. It's been non-existent at Madison Square Garden this season, and that's a really concerning aspect of the start of the Ranger season. But it's I don't really know what else. I mean, we could talk about Connor Sheary, one goal in 30 something games, Lafreniere and Trocheck, one goal each in their last 9 and 10 games, respectively. But so much relies on the top six on these marquee skaters. And if they're not going, then nobody is.
Yeah.
I feel like I've said and written that line so many times through 35 games.
And for the bottom six, it's kind of like the top six not scoring, but everyone's sort of playing okay. The game's still in the balance, and there's still, one shot could sort of change the game. What do you do when you're the coach? And you got to keep playing the top six more. So then, if you're a bottom six guy, you're like, I understand. What do you want me to do though? I'm on the bench. I can't play as much. Like
Yeah.
you're playing less, and that's sort of the you got to play your top guys at the end, the guys that are getting chances with the expectation it's going to go in. But yeah, this is just like it's infiltrated into the entire locker room, and they're just not scoring. And the other thing is, from a business perspective, you can't do this at home.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing to lose, and you're losing like 6-4, 5-3, whatever it is at home. You're like they defend well. I'm not suggesting they should do
Yeah.
that. But you get shut out at home this many times and it's not the turn of the calendar yet. Like
Yeah.
it's not a good product.
No.
So, it's they don't care about that. It's not what they talk about in the room, but it is understandable for all parties to have their frustrations.
Yeah.
And whether you're covering the team or you're coaching the team or you're playing on the team or you're a fan of the team, it's because it's not like, why don't they just do this? Well, they would have tried it. And the other things it's not a disaster. It's still not even close to last.
No, it's not. That's the weirdest part about it is it doesn't seem like I'll admit right at this very moment in time, I'm probably the least encouraged that I have been about the
Mm.
team the entire season thus far. but it still doesn't feel hopeless. I still don't even have any semblance of what I felt as early as November in last season, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so I think that's a positive, but it just the results. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't argue with how many zeros they have on their schedule. You just can't argue with it.
No.
I mean, the muffled conversation in the lower bowl last night that just kind of culminated into pretty loud boos. I mean, that's what you get with this kind of product. And I mean, it can't be good for morale. It can't be good for, the team mentality that they have worked so hard to improve this season and has been so much improved.
Yeah.
It just feels like, you know, waiting for the other shoe to drop where it is all just going to crumble down and what they have been working toward, even the small amount of it that's there, is just going to crater out from underneath them. But let's not get there yet. We're still only what, December 17th.
Yeah. I got a quick suggestion. I
Sure.
mean, the save of the game was unbelievable, right? On Kiefer Sherwood.
Mm-hmm.
Would he change the dynamic of your roster if you could somehow pry him away from Vancouver?
how
That guy's
many
a
how many
me
deals how many
he's
deals are gonna happen between these two clubs?
he's a menace.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I say that in that like in these games, regardless of if they can score or not, they play well for all these minutes. This guy's going to go and be a menace.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm totally speculating. I haven't
Just
heard that.
spitballing.
Oh my God. I've been like, for a year and a half though, I'm like, this guy'd be great on Broadway. But his
Like
cap
Larry
hit
with
so
Josh
low.
Anderson.
Yeah, he would have been too. Yeah. His cap hit so low, it would cost a ton. Um, yeah.
Meanwhile, I would have loved to have read a Larry column after that game.
I know. Yeah, you were talking about like we were all talking about it sort of last night. Like, what would Larry
Larry would have
do to
went
this
in.
team right now?
Larry would have dived in and he just would have he just would have laid down the line. He just would have ripped it to shreds.
He would have had
All right,
thoughts.
let's make he would have had some thoughts, that's for sure. All right, let's move on. The other kind of news of the week, so to say, in a season that was supposed to be headlined about no BS, little bit of BS. Mika Mika Zibanejad
Uh,
misses a team meeting, and as a result, doesn't get to get his MSG reunion
mhm.
with his best friend and the best man. He was the best man at his wedding, Chris Kreider. Jacob Trouba also is back at the Garden, but it sounds like it was legit.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry for the conspiracy theorists. I know it was very coincidental that it
There were
happened to
some
fall on.
like
I know.
hilarious.
Look, I mean, I don't. You can't really blame people coming from where they did last season. I mean, knowing Mika personally, all of it just seemed outrageous to me. I couldn't even picture him missing the team meeting to begin with, you know.
Right.
But yeah, the conspiracy theories, with Kreider coming to town and things like that, it just none of it makes sense. It's just not Mika's personality, not his way.
How do you
I
even
heard he
come
was
up with
devastated. Yeah, say it again.
how do you even come
Oh,
up
how
with
do they
some
even
of
come
the
up with this? Please,
oh
people
my
are very creative.
geez.
um, I heard
Use
he was
that
devastated.
creativity for something positive. That was just ridiculous.
He seemed that he was devastated over it when he talked
Yeah.
about it last night. He said that he got stuck behind an accident. And what's so, the reason why I, for a hot minute, thought, is there a conspiracy theory here? Because what a coincidence it was
Mm.
that I don't know if you watched the Road to the Winter Classic episode, the first one, on TNT. Like half of Mika's entire segment was about how long his ride is from the city to Westchester. Like, what a coincidence that was highlighted in this behind the scenes show. It showed him getting in the car, and he puts on the Google Maps, and it says 53 minutes, and he looks at the guys. He goes, I hope you guys have a lot of questions because it's such a long commute for him there and back. So how funny that that was highlighted, and then he ends up missing a team meeting because of it, doesn't get to play in a game where they very much so could have used him. Special teams
Yeah.
was the difference.
Right.
So it really did feel like one big coincidence, but we've seen it happen around the league a lot. I feel like, it happened with Braden Point.
Yeah.
The Blackhawks just did it on Tuesday with their
Mearshot
2024 pick. Yeah.
or Kershaw.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to butcher it, but the 2024 pick, he was tardy to practice. He was late to practice.
You can't be like this is
Missed his turn in the drill.
you can't be late.
Hmm.
And if you're late, you get benched. If seven guys are late, there might be some leeway there because you can't bench seven
Right.
guys. But that's funny. I have a story, a couple ones actually. Yeah, it took about that for me to get to practice, and it would take longer to get back home.
Yep.
That's why game days we were at the Garden. We had a lot of guys in the city, which is the best. I think they should go back to that.
They're
But
all
I get,
married. They're all
yeah,
married with children. That's why.
I understand. But kids aren't like, they're little. But I get it. Yeah, if you're late in the morning, there might be some leeway, some teams, but this is a precedent. So Sully
Of
sets the
course.
precedent. That's the rules. That's the rules, the rules. And there's other guys coming from the city that aren't late, I assume. So
Yeah.
leave
Yeah.
earlier. You understand the situation. It's terrible. It stinks, but it's not like I'm sure Mika's embarrassed. I'm sure he feels like he let the
Yeah.
boys down. But those are the rules, and you have to keep a certain standard. One time we played at home, I believe it was like December 29th or 30th, and there were zero cabs.
Mm.
And I was out on 60th and 10th. That's where I lived my first year. And we were leaving after the game. So I had like a roller bag
Mm.
and I had to essentially I walked slash ran to the game
From there?
from 60th and 10th to the Garden.
No, you're lying.
Yeah, with the rolly bag. And I get down like through Times Square and I hook a turn. I take a left on a corner. No, because I'm on the west side.
Wait.
I gotta work my way over. And this dude's setting up all like this big table with all the streamers and all the crap that they sell and for people
Yeah.
that come to Times Square. And I like my rolly bag hit some snow and
Oh
like I
no.
almost lost it. It goes like kind of flying through the air. Like, dude, just smashes into this guy's table. All his setup goes into the street. He starts screaming at me that I owe him money.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I had some choice words, but I just kept
I'm sure
going.
you did.
I'm like, it's not even time. Um, I get there at like 5:15. You got to be there at 5. And I was always there, 4:40,
Yeah.
4:30. And I'm like the third guy there. Anyways,
Oh,
everybody
that's the
shows up late.
funniest.
It was snowing. There's no cabs. I'm trying to call a car service, nothing. So even Torts was late. So we just kind of, no one said anything. We just put our gear on and had our game. And like after that, I was like, God, that was crazy. I had shin splints. You're running in dress shoes for that many blocks.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, for those that don't understand how far away
Yeah.
60th and 10th is from Madison Square Garden, like how long did it take you on foot?
Um, I mean, I'd walk out of my apartment like 4:20, 4:25 probably, and
Yeah.
just start looking around, trying to flag something down
Yeah,
for
like
5 minutes.
that's an hour long excursion.
It wasn't that long because I started hoofing it pretty hard, and I'm
At
like
6'6",
in a
you can
suit.
shave off a few
Yeah,
minutes.
well, but I'm in a suit, like with a long pea coat
Yeah.
on, and I'm like it's freezing out. I'm kind of running. My hands are freezing. My body's like sweating. Shirt ruined. We had to go to Carolina after the game. It was probably a good 45 minutes.
Oh my
And then
God.
I'm like, I don't need a warm up.
Yeah.
I'm only gonna
She
play
definitely
6
already
minutes
got that
anyways.
in.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, Brian. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it around the league not just you too, right?
So they were like,
Teammates and
yeah,
things
there
like
were,
that.
there's one teammate in Tampa, there were flights canceled coming back after an all-star break. And like he got the earliest one he could, and he missed the morning skate in the meeting. He had to sit out. Um, he was supposed to come the night before. We were all kind of like, an important player for us. We are all kind of like, I mean,
Mhm.
what's he supposed to do?
Yeah.
And it's just like, you're supposed to be here.
Well, that's I'm sure how a lot of people looked at the Mika Zibanejad situation, because if it was a one-time thing, how do you punish a guy that just gets stuck behind an accident, and
Yeah,
the day after a snowstorm, the roads were a nightmare. We're in the middle of December, the most crazy and populated time in New York City. But, going back to the culture that Mike Sullivan is
yeah,
trying to implement here, it's hard to argue with it. You want to talk
hmm
about players being held accountable and everything. So you got to pick a lane, but it was just a really unfortunate situation for a multitude of reasons. I mean, I'm sure
yeah,
there were so many people in the stands that specifically paid to be there to watch Chris Kreider and Mika Zibanejad go up
yeah.
against each other. So it's disappointing, but
It is
it
what it
is
is.
what it is.
Yeah,
It is what it is. But
happens all the time. And no, no, it never happened to me.
of course not.
I was in full panic mode after every All-Star break, all those things, full panic mode. I was panicked
No,
that day I ran to the garden too.
I'd be the same way. I'd be the exact same way.
Yeah,
Um, all right. Well, Chris Kreider did make his return to Madison Square Garden. Jacob Trouba as well. Um, I thought it was. I thought they both handled it really well. Chris was clearly not the comfiest, but
yeah.
really funny. It feels Trouba seems just so far removed and unbothered by it. Naturally, it's been over a year, so he
Mhm.
was completely different demeanor. But I thought the Rangers did a great tribute for both of them. Amazing standing ovation for Chris that would have kept going if the music didn't start playing. Truly felt that way. What were you thinking when you watched those guys return to the Garden?
Yeah, I assumed as much. And you saw Chris, this is his first, this is his team that he was on. This is his only team that he's played on. And
Yeah,
after you've gone through it once, it is a little easier. So for Jacob Trouba, and I know he was the captain, but he's gone through it. So maybe more time has passed, or it's not the
yeah, he had
first time.
Winnipeg.
So it's hard. I know Chris was he was quoted saying when they were giving him the tribute, Coach Quenville was talking to him about the neutral zone, and I'm like, no, he wasn't, Chris. You know what the neutral zone is. You've played forever, and he just wanted to deflect, or he didn't want to. And he doesn't want to talk about himself. He doesn't want to do it. It's uncomfortable
Never.
for him, and that's why he's the way he is. He's definitely. Um, so I love Chris Kreider. I've always loved him. He came to our team. He was a little kid, tried to look out for him, and I just love how well he's done. I root for him all the time. He's quirky though. He's not
He
he's
is.
he's a much different personality than I am. So
Than anybody,
I
I
like to see
think.
him. I like to see him squirm a little bit and then do well, because he's a good person and he works hard and gave you everything he had. So I think the fans noticed that, appreciated that, and it was just a good moment. And then you move on. And same for Trouba. Like it's not easy having to answer every day. Never mind if you're the captain. It's not easy. And
Yeah.
they got in a spot where a business decision had to be made. It didn't affect his professionalism, and I think people respected that as well. Plus, he played hard. He had that one outburst that I'll always remember. He threw his helmet, and they kind of went on a bit of a tear after
Helmet
that.
toss.
Yeah, I mean,
Iconic.
cool stuff like that. You try to remember it when the players are getting recognized because they pour everything they have into this, and it consumes them
Mm.
24 hours a day.
I mean, not that anybody, had any doubt or needed confirmation, because the duck-shaped clogs, I think that the Ducks posted that one time of both Trouba and Kreider wearing them, said it all. But I was catching up with Ryan Strom and just people that I've talked to and Kreider's circle. Anybody that has been with him out west can see how much he's enjoying himself
Yeah.
and how happy he is. SoCal has very much so agreed with Chris Kreider. So for the Ranger fans that love him, don't worry. He's in good hands and seems to be very happy in the California sunshine. So,
It's a good
alrighty.
team. Good team too.
Yeah, please. Who would have thought that they would be leading the Pacific at the start of this season?
I thought they'd be all right. I didn't think they'd be that good.
Nah, but I think a guy like Kreider, especially with what he's brought. I mean, last I looked at it, he was third on the team and points or goals, and yeah,
It came out of the gates
he's
hot.
he's brought a lot to that group, and I think it's so great for a young team to have a guy like that in the locker room. Can't even imagine to learn how to be a consummate pro
Yeah.
and how to be in this league for a long time. So, um, in positive news in Rangers land, Matt Rempe back in the lineup
Yeah, he's back.
finally. Been a bit of a ride for him. It was a long
Yeah.
time on the sidelines, and you gotta love him. He comes right out, says he broke his thumb in many places and had to
Yeah.
undergo surgery.
Oh,
He's got a nasty scar from right here to here. And it was so
yeah.
funny when I asked him about the rehab, like if he was not going to tell anybody about it, you ask him about the rehab process and he just immediately goes, yeah, looks right down at his thumb. No conditioning stint needed, goes right
I
in
know.
the lineup.
Listen, that says a
Um,
lot about what
yeah.
they think of him and how he's progressed.
Hmm.
Just no conditioning stint, and now Edstrom's out, and hopefully they kind of figure that out, and it's nothing too too serious. Just because that's an identity line for them, and
Yeah.
there's yeah, I just yeah, that's a tough one too because like that is so hard to heal in that spot, and so the mental part of it is the hardest. He's tough enough to kind of handle the rest of it.
He said he still can't bend it properly.
I don't know that yeah, that's
He
yeah,
had to decline a fight the other night because there was video of him showing
yeah,
because yeah I asked him because I was wondering, even though I kind of already knew the answer just knowing him, if he was deterred from fighting again because of this, but he said of course not at all, not at all. He just can't for a little while because it's still not
right.
bending properly.
Yeah, yeah. Play. Just go play. He can have an
Yeah,
impact. He just keeps playing.
no, it'd be good. In news around the league, and as it pertains to the Canucks that the Rangers played Tuesday night, Quinn
Hmm.
Hughes
Dealt.
is in Minnesota. Minnesota got Rossi, Zeev,
Hmm.
um, Ogren, all of
Liam
whom
Hogan.
were first round picks,
Plus
and a
another.
2026, plus a 2026 first rounder. So, I mean, you look at that
Yeah.
haul, and I found this entire stretch to be so interesting, especially with the words that Quinn Hughes very specifically chose when he first addressed the media afterward, talking about how Billy Guerin was the only one that stacked up, I think is the exact verbiage that he used
Yeah.
to go and
Love
and
it.
and get him. I did too. I found it
Yeah.
to be really interesting though,
Yeah.
because it does seem that everybody was a little conservative about this, but good on Billy Guerin for going out and giving the Canucks exactly what they needed to make the deal done. Deal get done.
Right.
Um, yeah, I liked it for all parties involved.
Oh, it's a I mean, you know what I think is the coolest part? When, and you see it a lot, you see it with GMs where it hasn't maybe gone exactly how you think it's going, and you've already changed coaches once, and your runway might be running short. Well, Jim Rutherford steps in, and Patrick Alvin's the GM, but if you listen to all the quotes it was Jimmy
Yeah.
and Billy, and they have a relationship. I think Billy has one with Patrick as well, but Jim Rutherford Rutherford is a Hall of Famer. Like this guy's been he's won cups in two places. He's been an executive in the league for a team for a very long time, and he probably has I don't know how many years left to be in this position. Obviously, clearly loves doing what he's doing. A lot of GMs would be like, no, let's go acquire and see if we can make Quinn happy. But he made Quinn happy by moving him. He took away his best player for a potential for the future of the team to be better, not right now. And
Hmm.
there'll be more moves I think Vancouver will make because teams are going to be
Definitely.
calling about Kiefer Sherwood, about Connor Garland, about different players. And it just shows a lot about I think the character of Jimmy Rutherford. And Billy Guerin, on the other hand, has some runway. Yes, he's fired one coach, but he's had to deal with the cap penalties of making the bold move to buy out Ryan Suter and Zach
Yep.
Parise. And he's been hamstrung. And then he's like, we got this guy, number 97, who is an electric factory. He puts the butts in the seats. He is him alone. We won't be shut out six times at home. Like this guy is that good. We are giving him whatever he wants. And the owner didn't do him any favors by saying essentially, you get a blank check, Kirill. And he's built around it. He's looking at his division, and it's a gauntlet, and he's got to play against, well, Winnipeg now they have Hellebuck back, and then you have Colorado and you have Dallas, who are two of the top three, maybe four cup contenders this season. And he's like, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
We have Brock Faber, we have Jonas Brodin, we have Jared Spurgeon. Zeev Buian looks like he's going to be a pretty good player. Here, you take the kid, and we'll get the superstar. And how does that set up the pairings when they're healthy? They're not done. They get another centerman.
Yeah.
Their odds go right to the top, and I just
They're
love that.
looking good.
And it gives us stuff to talk about, and then he'll just and the way what he's given up, like he's on other podcasts, just kind of walking you through everything.
Yeah.
And you're like, this guy's the man. I want to hang out with Billy Gary.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I think that Quinn Hughes was definitely taken with the way that Billy conducted himself during this.
yeah.
And, you also like to think that if you're a Minnesota Wild fan, that Billy Guerin is confident that he can get Quinn Hughes to stay. You don't want to give that up. That was the other thing because the Rangers were reportedly in on Quinn Hughes, but to the extent of how legit
Who
it was,
who's
because
gonna give a package like that? That was a great package.
no one could come. The Rangers certainly couldn't come close to that.
Right.
Um, but logistically, even if they could, I don't know how that was going to work out with Adam Fox, locked in here for as long as he is. And, what are you going to put Adam Fox on the second power play unit?
I mean, they'd make it work.
I'm sure they would make it work. But I mean, some of the names that I've seen out there that made sense that the Canucks were interested in Alexei Lafreniere, his former agent, is the assistant GM there, Emily. Braden Schneider, apparently Vancouver has been high on him since the Miller trade. Um,
Yeah. They didn't want a
but
right shot. They really wanted a left shot defenseman. So you'd think even, across the river, Nemich's name was coming up, Mercer, um, two guys without trade protection. There's every guy in Jersey pretty much has trade protection, which I didn't realize.
yes,
It's wild.
that's been a headline. Poor Tom
Uh,
Fitzgerald is his business is getting
I'll defend Fitzy. I mean, everybody, you
thrown
can
out there
build.
in plain terms.
I mean, build whatever team you want. If half of them are hurt, you're not going to win. So I can't he can't control that. I
Yeah,
mean, but yeah, it was really wild. I thought weeks before any deal would get done, and it just got done. And I was like, that's so cool. Friday night? Was it
yeah.
Friday night?
It was a Friday night.
Jerks.
There's nothing the National Hockey League loves
Jerks.
more than a Friday night blockbuster news dump trade.
Oh man.
But I mean, there was a ton of reports about how Hughes and his camp made it very clear that they weren't going to give any team
Yeah.
an assurance of extending. So for the Rangers to shell out what they would have had to have shelled out to get Quinn Hughes for perhaps a year and a half of Quinn Hughes, where it's not even 100% sure if they're going to even make the
Yeah.
playoffs right now. just doesn't make a lot of sense. So,
I think
um,
it'd be like Perot, Lava first, and then yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's the
what plus
thing.
plus? I don't know.
You're quite literally clearing out any sort of positive outlook that you have
Right.
for the Rangers right now.
And the
So,
guy's unbelievable. He
um,
fits like how that trade
yeah,
worked out and what their roster looks like now. I'm like, that makes so much
yeah,
sense.
it was a great deal for both sides. Just a great hockey deal,
Oh
I
yeah.
think, for all parties involved. So very, very entertaining for us hockey fans for sure. Alrighty, Mollie's got a pack,
All
so
right.
let's let's stop there. Thanks all for listening. As always, give us a thumbs up, comment down below. What do you think about Matt Rempe's return? Are you freaking out about the Rangers' home record yet? Still are? Where
Just
do
be
you think
happy
we
they're
can
not
go from
be
here?
happy they're not in the Central. That's
We'll see
positive.
what happens. We'll see what it has for us in St. Louis. All right. We'll talk to you guys again next week.
New York City. In the Mecca of basketball, we only care about one team. And in New York Got Game, we're locked in on everything orange and blue. I'm Dexter Henry, host of New York Got Game, where we break down the biggest Knicks moments, talk to the voices that matter, from beat writers, content creators, to super fans like yourself. And of course, former and current players. We're putting a spotlight on the Knickerbockers you need to know. And we're here live to watch and react to the biggest games of the season. From the legends who built the culture to the stars chasing the next banner. This is the show for real Knicks fans. Knicks basketball is different. New York Got Game shows you why. We're coming to you twice a week, locked in on the greatest in this city. Be sure to tune in, tap in, and run with us. Subscribe and find us wherever you get your podcasts.